Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming to this session. Hope you guys are having a great Microsoft Ignite event so far. I feel lucky here to be on the first day while everyone's still at 100%. My name is Steve Brar, and I work for Riverbed Technology. We're a tech company based out in San Francisco, but we're really global in nature. And today, I want to talk to you guys about maximizing digital performance in a user experience driven world. And really I want you to get three things from this session. One is, what is digital performance? Two, why is it critical to user experience and business? And three, what you guys can do to help maximize that and ensure that for business success. So with that, I'll get started. This is just kind of a slide to show you where things are at today, right? We all know that digital transformation has been going on now for a number of years. In fact, IDC says that by 2021, 50% of global GDP will be digitized and 2.1 trillion will be spent on digital transformation. So we see this, in every industry: transportation, manufacturing, healthcare, finance, and I'm sure that many of you are dealing with digital transformation initiatives in your own jobs and are being asked to support those. If you look at, what does digital performance mean? Well, it's really a combination of business metrics as well as IT metrics. According to McKinsey & Company, early adopters of digital capabilities will see 2 times the growth of companies that are slow or laggards in adopting digital business capabilities. And according to Forrester, but this year, 30% of companies will see a decline in their digital experiences, and as a result of that, they will lose a point of growth in their companies. So you can see there's really a strong correlation between digital performance, user experience, and the business performance. And so, from an IT standpoint, it's important to be able to deliver high-performing digital services and applications to support the business so that they can achieve the outcomes they're looking for. Customer loyalty, whether shopping cart completion rate, whatever metric it may be from a business perspective. In this digital world, they're all dependent on those applications and services being delivered successfully. And we live in this world where user experience is really just measured on a 5-star scale, right? We don't have a lot of room for error. And really, I would argue it's more of a 3-star scale. Either you're a 4 or a 5, or you're a 0. And so there's very little margin for error when it comes to delivering these digital experiences. There's a performance gap that we see. In Riverbed, we've conducted a survey of business and IT leaders across the industry, and we've come up with these results. 95% face challenges in achieving a successful digital strategy. 80% said that their digital services are failing a few times more a month. Imagine that. If an application to a customer or even an employee goes down a few times a month, how much productivity is lost or how much revenue is impacted? And 77% say that it's critical for them to invest in digital experience in the next 12 months. So there is a recognition that we need to spend more time and resources focused on ensuring that digital experience in order to be successful, but they still face these challenges. And if you think about it, we have this challenge of elevated user expectations in this era where people want instant access to information, quick response time, and just a general overall excellent experience from their digital services and applications. But the challenge is that 45% of enterprises report 5 or more performance blind spots. So what does that mean? That means that they don't really have the line of sight to measure or understand what the user experience is. Oftentimes they have point tools to monitor different aspects of the IT infrastructure, but they can't put it all together. The other challenge that IT is facing is greater IT complexity. So if you look at what's happened in the past decade, there's been great advancements in different technologies such as cloud and mobile, but they've also added to the workload and the complexity of the IT infrastructure and architecture, right? No longer do you just have a data center talking to applications out in the branch offices or remote locations. You have, cloud, oftentimes multi-cloud, hybrid applications, hybrid networks, so you have private networks and broadband that you're dealing with. And from a user device perspective, you have a mix of mobile phones, tablets, laptops. All these things need to be managed now from an IT standpoint. And according to IDC, 60% of digital initiatives will be unable to scale due to a lack of strategic IT architecture. So in this era of digital where you're having to build more and more digital services and applications, you really need to rethink the IT architecture in order for those to be successful. Now, how do you close that performance gap that I talked about earlier? Well, you have to start with the user. And that's where the point of consumption is for these digital services and applications. It's all about the user experience. The IT complexity also has to be dealt with, but from a user perspective, that's invisible, right? Only the IT people have to deal with that part of it. At the end of the day, all they don't care about if it's where the application's hosted or how they're getting it, as long as it's working well and meeting their objectives. So really the first step to closing this performance gap is to be able to manage the end-to-end user experience, starting with the user on their device, whatever device it may be, and being able to measure and monitor what their experience looks like, and also what their satisfaction with that digital service is. You also need visibility into the infrastructure that's used to deliver that application, wherever that may be in the world. And you need visibility into the application itself, whether hosted in the cloud or in a data center, all the way down to the code level. So that way you can really see if there is a performance issue, where it is, and isolate it quickly from a troubleshooting perspective. It also allows you to be more proactive because you can identify poor user experience when you may not even know that there's an issue. The other step is to really modernize your IT infrastructure. Starting with the edge. Newer digital services are looking to take advantage of real-time computing at the edge, storage at the edge. There's been this push to centralization, but now some of these newer digital services require more power at the edge in order to deliver these great experiences. So rethinking your edge infrastructure, rethinking your network. If you look at what's evolved in the last couple of decades with cloud computing, compute and storage have taken giant leaps forward in terms of IT simplicity and making it easy and more flexible, scalable, and agile. But the network has been left behind. Still dealing with configuring manually via the command line interface. Making changes is very difficult and fragile and could break things. So looking at the network and bringing it into the cloud era is critical. And lastly, looking at the overall infrastructure delivery path and optimizing it and making the best use of your cloud resources, both from a cost perspective and just making sure your applications have the right infrastructure behind them and optimizing that delivery to the end user. So Riverbed, the company I work for, we've worked to build this Riverbed digital performance platform to help you address these challenges. And it starts with digital experience management. And we have a single platform that pulls together and correlates visibility, starting with the end user at their device, through the network with a network performance monitoring capability, both from a flow and packet perspective. So you can get down and see all the way down to the packet level, whether it's your own network or in the cloud. So you don't lose that visibility when you move applications to the cloud. IT infrastructure management, as well as application performance management, so you can get that visibility into multi-tier applications, microservices, containers, all the new ways that applications are being built in the cloud. You can get visibility down to the code level. And the beauty of this is that it correlates everything. So you could quickly jump between each of those different parts of your infrastructure and understand where a performance issue is and what you need to do to resolve it. We also have put together a next-gen infrastructure platform with a modernized network capability that's managed via the cloud and has a single policy across the wide area network, as well as your branch offices and local area network, where you can have a single policy for wireless networking as well as wired networking and across the wide area network. And all of that has built-in optimization, WAN optimization capability. If any of you guys are familiar with the Riverbed, you may know us for what we started off with, which was developing a leading WAN optimization technology. And since then, we've expanded into providing a complete portfolio of infrastructure solutions. And at the edge, we built a platform now supporting Hyper-V that provides data services, compute, and storage to support some of these newer digital applications and IoT. And we've also partnered with Microsoft in a number of different ways. We're a certified Microsoft partner, and we have gold competencies in cloud platform and application development. And we're Microsoft Azure certified. Many of these services are available in the Azure marketplace and are built on Azure. Office 365, we're Pro Plus certified, as well as Windows 10 logo ready. So we really have a strong partnership with Microsoft, and together we're able to help maximize that digital performance with our solutions. And I would encourage you guys all to learn more about what we can do. We're over in booth 500, which is straight down at the very end of the hall that way. And we have some exciting demos that we're showing. So one is around how you can deliver the best possible Office 365 user experience, really being able to measure what people are experiencing as they're using Office 365, and optimizing the delivery of Office 365 over the network using things like Azure-Virtual WAN, which was announced this week as well. We also have demos to show you how you can manage all your other applications, whether infrastructure as a service hosted, SaaS hosted, or in your own data center. We also are helping, I mentioned Azure Virtual WAN, simplifying Azure networking with SD-WAN. Whether you use Direct Connect or your own network, we're making it super easy to build a network to connect to Azure. And lastly, we have a demo on our Edge platform on how you can modernize your Edge IT in your remote offices or branches in order to deliver some of those new digital services. We also have a series of booth presentations on various Azure technologies, Skype for Business, and Office 365 that you can check out, and we have some giveaways. We're doing a drawing for an Oculus Rift, and if you came to this session, got your badge scanned, you can go get a free t-shirt from our booth as well. So with that, I want to thank you guys for coming and attending. It was a quick overview of what Riverbed does and how we can help you maximize digital performance. We're a billion-dollar company. We have over 2,000 employees globally, and we've been a leader in the Gartner Magic Quadrant 15 times. And we continue to look forward to helping you guys solve some of your digital performance challenges. Thank you.